Welcome into the Flippin' Hippos reseller channel. I'm Star. If you're new here or you haven't yet, please consider subscribing to the channel and hitting the thumbs up. It helps us feed our hungry hippos. Today is Monday, January 27th, and because it's a Monday, that means it's time for What Sold on eBay. This week, we're taking a look at the last 2 weeks, January 13th through the 26th, because last Monday was Martin Luther King Day. It was a federal holiday, no shipping, so Keith and I took the day off. And now we'll catch up on the last 2 weeks of sales. Just like every week, we're going to start with the plush, and I have pulled out every single plush that sold in those 2 weeks to show you and talk about with you. And then as far as the other types of items that we sell, I've pulled out the highlights to talk about with you. This is a teaching channel, so even though my what sold videos are sort of a highlight reel of my sales, I do pull items for specific reasons, for teachable moments, or something I want to talk about with you. Let's jump right on in with this Disney Pixar Cars Mater. This is poop. You're going to see a lot of poop plush this week. Two things have been happening. Our plush sales have gone way up since the small lull after Christmas, which is kind of rare for this time of year. Q1 is typically where we see a huge increase in our clothing sales as folks get their tax returns back. Plush usually has a huge push in the summer, which I've never been able to explain, and Q4, which probably because of Christmas. Plush is flying out the door right now on all platforms. I've talked to some of my other friends that sell plush, and they're experiencing the same thing. And from what I gather from the resellers that I talk to and hang out with, your experience might be different, or you might know something different, which let me know in the comments. But it's trending now with Gen Z and teenagers that plush are cool again, like carrying stuffed animals to high school or maybe collecting them is like trending, and it's seen as like a cool thing to do, and that could be why our plush is selling. If you've heard anything about this, let me know. And if it's true, good for us. We'll all sell more plush. A lot of our lower end poop plush has been selling, which is also a good thing because I want to get rid of it. I'm trying to clearance out a lot of our stale and older items and our lower end items. I do buy 99% of our inventory wholesale or bulk buys. And unfortunately, when you do that, you're not handpicking or selecting your items. So you end up with a couple of really good things in the box, a ton of bread and butter in the box, and some poop items. But I do sell everything and get every penny I can out of every wholesale buy. You just have to learn how to prioritize and save the poop for a rainy day. So Mater here probably would have sold for a little bit more, but he does have a voice box that no longer works. And when I have an electronic plush that doesn't work, I will still sell it, but I also will put that it doesn't work in approximately 23 places in the listing. That's an exaggeration, but as many places as I can, because we all know that buyers don't read, nor do they pay attention, and I don't like returns. Mater sold for $437 plus $5.50 shipping. We have a big bird that I took a best offer of $5 on plus $5.50 shipping. The thing with Sesame Street and Disney, you have to find the characters that are popular now, not oversaturated. The characters that are more obscure are going to sell for a lot more money because they're harder to find. But the more popular shows and movies that are current pop culture are always going to do better. Sesame Street is still pretty relevant. I think kids still watch it. But Big Bird himself is just so oversaturated. Kermit the Frog as well. Like, unless you find the super vintage Kermies, there are some of those that go for a lot of money. This is a puppet with no brand. I like puppets, but puppets can range from this duck that I took a $6 best offer on, all the way up to hundreds and hundreds of dollars if you find the realistic folk Monas puppets. They do sell quick. I think their sell-through rate is faster than other plush. And you can move a lot of puppets, even if they don't have brands, even if they're lower end. You're going to see a Melissa and Doug puppet in a minute as we work through these tabs up here. Next, we have a Gans Sugar Swirl Easter Bunny. This one sold for $18.04 plus the $5.50 shipping. Gans is a pretty good brand. I would say the majority of Gans falls in the mid-range bread and butter. Some are going to be a little bit more. I'm not as picky because, like I said, I have a Gaylord that's 5 feet tall, as tall as me, delivered to the house with hundreds of plush in it. I'm just going to go through it and prioritize. But if you're out there picking your plush one by one, you're going to want to be choosier and maybe comp. I will also add that yesterday I went to the thrift store. Go to the thrift store once a month with my local eBay group. And the plush there was so ridiculously priced. I have some footage I'm going to be putting on YouTube and Instagram in short reels. But they had them like on this shelving in the middle of the store, almost like they thought they were real. And they were a lot of squishmallows and stuff, but my goodness, they don't leave you any room for profit. They're just, I mean, I wouldn't even pay those prices for myself. There was a really cute hippo unicorn, but I digress. If you're handpicking your plush, you want to be more choosy, especially if you don't have a volume-based business. If you don't mind filler brands, Gans is pretty decent. This is a really cute Easter bunny. As far as holidays go, I've said this before, but it's important for me to remind you at this time of year, our Easter plush sell year-round. They sell the fastest, and they sell for the most money over any other holiday, and that includes Christmas and Valentine's Day. So if you have bunnies, chickens, or ducks, get them up now and put Easter and spring as good keywords in the title. If you have Valentine's Day plush, if you have anything that can be Valentine's Day adjacent, if you have really cute teddy bears, gorillas, anything with hearts or anything right now, get them listed. And if they're already listed, change their titles. It's almost Valentine's Day. I think we're like 2 weeks away. We still have a little bit of time left. But you want to do this ahead of every holiday. You can go in and change your titles to add Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, Easter, etc. Next, we have a Wild Republic seal. Most Wild Republics are going to be larger, very realistic looking animals. Sometimes they will have a dual tag, like we get them from the Pittsburgh Zoo here. It'll say Wild Republic, Pittsburgh Zoo and Aquarium on the tag. The smaller ones and the oversaturated animals are always going to comp for less and sell for less. But if you can find the really big, realistic ones, I think I've sold a couple of peacocks for like $40 and stuff. Again, there's like an arc on most of these brands that goes from poop to really good bread and butter all the way up, depending on what the animal is. The seal sold for $6.86 plus 7 shipping. Douglas Cuddle Toy. I don't know why I screamed it. I get excited. Douglas Cuddle Toy. I don't understand why my armadillo comp this low, because typically Douglas Cuddle Toys is a really great brand. I think it's that race to the bottom. I think it's people not understanding that plush can be worth money, not having the education when they start reselling on eBay, not really knowing what they have. A lot of new sellers get stuffed animals and think they don't have value to them, and they don't have the education to know better, to know that plush can be worth a lot of money. And then you also have the impatient people who want to race to the bottom just to trash markets, I guess. I don't know what y'all's deal is. I used to sell Douglas Cuddle Toys like this for $25 and $30. And then they have giant ones, big ones, huge ones that sell for a lot of money. So don't undervalue what you have. I know I talk about this race to the bottom all the time, and I know I'm only reaching probably less than 1% of resellers out there. And the ones that aren't going to listen anyway. But maybe if I say it in a different way, you're undervaluing yourself. So when you take the time and the effort to source items, photograph them, research them, comp them, and list them, and you're not pricing them at what they're worth, you're saying you're not worth enough. I don't know about you, but I want to make more than minimum wage. I want to make $50+ an hour. That's what I think I'm worth. So value your time as well as your items. And remember, if you have a subscription on eBay, you can always run sales. So you don't have to lower your prices. You can just run sales. And buyers like that. If they see a 50%, 75% blowout sale, they're going to buy your stuff. So price accordingly. Douglas Cuddle Toys is still a brand I will look for all the time. There are some, again, like I said, worth a lot of money. The little armadillo here sold for $8.74 plus $5.50 shipping. Next, we have a Batat Cocker Spaniel. Batat's kind of like one of those low-end bread and butters. I wouldn't source this on purpose. She's really, really cute. I wouldn't source it on purpose, but if I get it in a box, you know, save it for a rainy day. I took $5 best offer plus the $5.50 shipping. I have a Build-A-Bear lapel pin. This came in that lot of Build-A-Bear clothes I bought back in I bought it in Thanksgiving, around Thanksgiving of 2023. And I did take a best offer of $5 on it, and it had $5 shipping. Dandy. This is another brand, and I probably have mentioned this before 1,332 times. Dandy is a brand that can range from prices like $8.50, like this little dog, plus $5 shipping, all the way up into the 50s and 60s. Sometimes even more. There are very large Christmas bears and vintage Dandy that can go for a lot more. This little guy, I was happy to get $8.50 plus $5. That's $13, 50 all in. And he's real tiny. But he has this little bow around his neck. And so I used the keyword Valentine's Day because he's got the hearts. And of course he sold. Speaking of Melissa and Doug, which I mentioned earlier, they do a lot of play sets and pretend sets for kids, not just stuffed animals, but they have like little farm sets and little play people. Anytime I find a random just by itself Melissa and Doug, I'm going to source it. Even if I have to sell it for $3.50, which is what I sold this grandma from Red Riding Hood for, plus the $5 shipping. That's still $8.50 all in. This is something that cost me like 10 cents. The thing with the Melissa and Doug set, whether they're the puppets or the other toys, children lose things all the time, and parents need replacements. So if you buy your kid, not you, but if someone bought their kid the Little Red Riding Hood puppet play set, they're going to lose Grandma, they're going to lose the wolf, they're going to lose Red Riding Hood. They're not buying the whole set. They're coming on eBay just to replace that one piece of the set. So I do like Melissa and Doug. There's vet set. They have all kinds of stuff out there. I always like to get them because it's minimal time and effort to really list this. 10 cents into, $6 profit. So, and we have our Alvin, Build-A-Bear Alvin from Alvin and the Chipmunks here. We've had him for a little while. He did take some time to sell, probably like 2 years, because he was so expensive. The reason he's so expensive, he's Build-A-Bear. He's Alvin from Alvin and the Chipmunks. He also comes with several outfits and accessories. So he comes with the little tuxedo you see in the main picture, a microphone, the guitar, and the tuxedo is a shirt and a pair of shoes. He comes with his original birth certificate from Build-A-Bear. And then he has a Hawaiian shirt with the original Build-A-Bear hanger. You can see I photographed all the items separately and together so the buyer can really get a good idea of what they're getting. He's really super cute. When you have a recognizable popular character like this, sell them with their outfit. I always tell you guys to strip your Build-A-Bears, sell them naked and sell the clothes separate. You'll make more profit that way. And you will if it's just a bear or a rabbit and a regular pair of shorts and a shirt. But when it's a recognizable character, sell it with all the clothes, the accessories, and everything, and you can get a lot more money. I did accept an offer on Alvin of $41.79, plus he had 18 shipping on him. So that is almost a $60 sale for Alvin. And I shipped him in a box. the 12 by 9 by 9, 12 by 12 by 9, the free box on USPS. I shipped him in there with his birth certificate and the hanger, like with a small layer of bubble wrap over those, and then some tissue paper, and then Alvin himself. I've already gotten, I don't know if they actually left feedback on our store, but I did get a message from the buyer that they were tickled pink. They loved the way I packed it, and they really thought that Alvin was in really good condition, and they were really happy. I just love Build-A-Bears, especially when you get these characters that have all these accessories. You can really make a lot of money. We have a vintage Woolrich, so that was all of the plush. Now we're moving into the other items. Vintage Woolrich. I do love when I find the vintage Woolrich, especially the men's shirts, the larger sizes, like extra large. This is a thermal shirt. I'm double checking my notes. I did sell it for full asking price of $12.85 plus the 8 shipping. So it's like a $20 shirt. It's not going to pay for college, but it's a nice flip when you find it for 99 cents. Levi's 526. I took a best offer 16 plus the 8 shipping. So this is just a really good bread and butter, $20 to $25 Levi's. Madewell. I usually sell Madewells for $30 to $35. These are an older pair that are size 33, which is a harder size for me to get rid of. So I put them on sale. This is a men's water resistance quartz tachymeter analog watch. I do not normally mess around with watches. They're not really like I don't really prefer to sell these. However, when I first started delving into jewelry last year and I started promoting the Whistle Pig Market on Etsy store, and she gave me the code to share with all of my viewers and a discount, she did send me some samples of types of items that she sells above and beyond the costume jewelry, because I always buy the costume jewelry from her, and that's what you see me unbox. So I got some free samples of the other items to show you guys and unbox so everybody could see what she offers, which was really nice of her to do. And I got some different gold and silver jewelry and watches. I had fun unboxing it. I really had fun showing you guys her variety. I had fun listing it and researching it. But would I purposely buy like a 15-pound bag or box of just watches? Probably not. I really am a fan of the costume jewelry. But there's money in watches. A lot of my friends sell watches and they really like them. There's really good money in it, especially if you're buying them by weight, because they don't really weigh a lot. So if you're getting, $6 to $10 a pound and you're selling each watch, I took a best offer on this of $17.27 plus 5 shipping. So there's some Levi's 550, 23 plus $8. So these are like $30 to $35 jeans. These are men's. Men's always sell for a little bit more than women's. I do like men's 550s, and these are a bigger size as well. Just like with women's clothing, men's larger size waisted jeans and their big and tall shirts are going to be able to sell for more money, like the women's plus sizes. We have a leather bracelet with a little metal flower. I sold for $12 plus 5 shipping. A red ceramic beaded necklace, 15 plus 5. This sold for $20 all in. So it's important to note that this is just costume jewelry. This is not real gold or real silver. These are just fun, cute items that I get, and I sell for $20 for this necklace. So again, don't underestimate the worth of what you have, and don't underestimate your worth and your value per hour as your own employee. I do have a guide for pricing jewelry that is free. I'll make sure it's linked down below for you guys and you can grab that. These are just like plastic 90s holographic earrings. And they sold for $13 plus 5 shipping. This is pink and red crystal gems. So not even rhinestone, they're just crystals. But it's pretty. And this is one that if it hadn't have sold like when it did, because it's red and pink, I may have come back in and taken out evening costume jewelry to make room and put like Valentine's Day gift or something like that. Because this is pretty. This is a nice, pretty necklace that someone may want to wear to dinner on Valentine's Day. A pea in the pod. This is kind of a poop brand maternity pants, but whenever I get them in throw boxes and list them, they sell pretty quickly in comparison to other poop brands. And I got $7 on top of almost 12. So still like 20 bucks. That's a decent bread and butter brand. As far as I'm concerned, I pay $1 for all of my jeans, and I consider my bread and butters to be like $20 to $35. And then last but not, no, there's one more after this. Okay. So the Gothic velvet choker necklace. So the rope is just a velvet, and this is the ceramic carved roses. So really pretty pendant. These carved black roses are really pretty. I did take a best offer of $15 plus the $5 shipping. So all in, that's a $20 choker. And you can see I used Gothic as a keyword. And then finally, actually, for real this time, last but not least, just these crystal topaz colored rhinestone earrings. So they're just crystals and rhinestones, but they're really nice looking. They're pretty. Some costume jewelry is just so pretty, even though you know it's not real and it's just costume. It's so pretty sometimes. I really liked that necklace I showed you earlier, and these earrings are really nice. I did put 80s here. I think these were when I was still kind of learning. I might even call these 60s fashion. I don't know. But they did sell for $10 plus $5 shipping. So I see a lot of folks on eBay pricing their costume jewelry, their earrings especially, like around $5 plus shipping. Eat. It's too low. So grab my guide if you want it. It's free. And then I will have my video pop up at the end here where I talk about how to price jewelry more. If you haven't seen it and you do sell jewelry, it's worth a watch. Other than that, if you have any questions, comments, concerns about anything you saw in this video or reselling in general, let me know down below. I do answer everyone. I do get behind sometimes, but I will make the effort to answer everyone eventually. If you want a faster answer from me or to interact with other resellers, you can join my Facebook group, Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod. It's a very, very positive group of really nice people who are always willing to help. You're not going to get any toxic attitude problems in there. I promise. Everyone's nice. All right, guys, go be productive. Go make some money. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.